Women are starting to get desperate, more and more desperate by the day. How do I know? Well, picture this. You're driving down Highway 101 in California, just trying to get to work, and then you see this giant billboard, one that says, "Marry Lisa." Yeah, really, that's not a movie promo. That's not a dating app ad, but a real woman advertising for a mate. That real woman is Lisa Catalano, who got so frustrated with modern dating, she literally set up a website, marrylisa.com, and put it, along with her face, on 6 billboards across the Bay Area. And listen, before we get into it, I'll give Lisa some serious props right out of the gate. That took guts, took creativity, and it took a level of screw it, I'll do it myself, that you can't help but respect. I mean, most people just whine about dating apps. Most women sit in their car bawling their eyes out on TikTok screaming, "Why doesn't anyone want me?" Or they post those "Where are all the good men" videos while their hostages, I meant cats, blink twice for help. But Lisa's got a set. She said, "Forget this. I'm going to go and create a full-scale marketing campaign. One where I'm the star. And I, for one, respect that hustle." That's bold. It's resourceful. It's the kind of thinking that made America great, and also kind of hilarious. But here's where the admiration ends and the reality check begins. Because as innovative as this idea was, Lisa's expectations are still straight out of a Hallmark movie mixed with a BuzzFeed quiz. On her website, which, by the way, looks exactly like a job posting for husband full-time position, she lists what she's looking for. And believe me, my friends, it's a long, long list. First up, she wants a man between 35 and 45, because if you're 34, you're too immature, and if you're 46, well, let's face it, you're just a couple of years away from a nursing home. Next, he's got to be college educated. Minimum bachelor's degree, of course. Sorry, all you plumbers and electricians making multiple 6 figures. She'd rather have the guy working as a barista at Starbucks because his degree in primordial anthropologic art and basket weaving is worth more to her than your ability to rewire a house in a couple of hours or fix the toilet from running. Next, he must be financially stable, aka a good provider. Sorry, barista boy, I spoke too soon. Guess you're out too, as she's not settling for anything less than a guy in finance with, of course, a trust fund. Next, he's got to be physically fit, even though, and I'm going to try and be nice here, she's not exactly going to be on the cover of Women's Muscle and Fitness or Vogue anytime soon. Then, of course, you must be politically compatible. In this case, if you aren't a far-left wokey loon, you need not apply. And then there's the standard, he must be emotionally mature, aka willing to put up with her quirks, craziness, and, of course, ridiculous demands and expectations without giving a word of complaint in return. And to cap it all off, you must love family, travel, and dogs because, it's all about the lifestyle. Her lifestyle. Oh, and lest I forget, she's desperate. You better be ready for marriage and kids all within the next 2 years. I mean, chop, chop, the clock is ticking. She's 42 and her eggs are already past their expiration date. Now look, I don't really think there's anything wrong with being 42 or wanting kids. But I do most certainly think that there's something wrong with being 42 and thinking you can still shop for men like you're 22. That's not romantic, that's delusional math. Add to it, she's got her other, let's call them preferences, but we all know in reality are actually deal breakers. He can have no kids. He must never have been married. He's got to be located in the San Fran area, clean cut, good looking, slim to medium build, and no tats or piercings. Though, to her credit, she says she doesn't have a height requirement. Yeah, right. The only one she's fooling with that one is herself. I mean, I've seen CVS receipts shorter than the shopping list she's got on her website. What's even funnier is that the man she's describing, the man she wants, doesn't exist. And if he does, he ain't single, and he ain't on Tinder, and he's definitely not applying to be some chick's cabana boy off a Billboard website. He's already married to a woman who recognized his value when he was broke, balding, and building. See, this is the irony of modern dating. Women like Lisa waited until men became successful, the same men that they rejected time and again in their 20s. And now that the wall has come, now that the desperation has set in, now that the reality her future life is one of loneliness has hit, she's finally ready to want all those men who wanted her 10 or 20 years ago. It's the same worn-out shtick we've seen time and again from the over-the-hill gang. And then they can't figure out why it's not working. Look, I said I admire her originality, but Lisa's whole campaign is in reality nothing more than a reflection of a much bigger trend. And it's not just desperation, it's denial. Because even when women finally admit, okay, maybe men really are walking away, they still think the problem is that men aren't available, not that women haven't adapted. Let's be honest, the dating landscape is an utter disaster, and it's the Lisas of the world who largely made it that way. Now we've got dating apps that are full of bots, filters, and broken trust. Everyone's playing games. Everyone's pretending they don't care while secretly checking who watched their story. But here's the twist, the one that the Lisas of the world just can't seem to grasp. The good men, the ones the Lisas of the world want, got tired of the nonsense first. They've stopped chasing validation. They've stopped risking everything for nothing. And they started walking away and are continuing to do so. And women, for the first time in modern history, are realizing the good men actually mean it. So now they're stuck being chased by Chad, Tyrone, and Rico, who are only interested in one-off booty calls. Or the pander bears who think the only way to be manly is to get on your knees and hand over your money to a woman. Any and every woman who will take it. Which, to be fair, is pretty much all of them these days. Worse, those pander bears pathetically beg for attention from these women, who in the long run will just take all their money in adoration for now, but in the end, never will date them, let alone marry them. The reality is, Lisa's billboard isn't just one woman's idea, it's a sign, literally, of how much the balance has shifted. Men withdrew from the market, and now the market is in full-blown panic. It is simple supply and demand. Simple economics. And when the demand is growing and the supply is short, well, here's where we are. Men used to be desperate for love. Now the shoe is on the other foot. It's now women who are desperate for attention, desperate for commitment. And this is what that desperation looks like, all wrapped up with a pretty bow called empowerment. Let's call this what it is. A last-ditch marketing campaign because the free trial of feminism expired and no one's renewing. And again, I'm not bashing her. As I said, I want to give her credit where credit is due. Lisa seems smart. She's definitely driven. She may even be charming. But in the end, what she really is desperate and delusional. She's just doing what society has told her to do. To focus on herself, build her career, travel, don't settle. But now that she's finally decided she does want a family, reality has set in. The reality that while she wants a man to do that with, they don't want her. She's now realizing that biology doesn't care about hashtags, which is why she ended up buying those billboards. And I can already hear it in the comments. Why can't we celebrate a woman going after what she wants? We can. In fact, I'd argue I have. I gave her props for her ingenuity. But we also have to be real. She's not going after a man. She's advertising for one. That's not romance. That's job recruitment. And here's the bigger picture, men. This is what the next decade is going to look like. Only worse. As more men walk away from lopsided dating, unfair marriages, and courts that treat them like ATMs, women will have to adapt or escalate. And since they will never take accountability, never think to change, we're going to see more and more of these desperate publicity stunts, more social media campaigns, more women trying to go viral for love. And yet, in the end, the message will still be the same. It's all about me, as evidenced by the fact her entire website is about her and what she wants. Nowhere on there does she mention what the man will be getting in return. Nowhere does she mention what she's bringing to the table, except, of course, this. The this that women think is all they need to bring to the table. It's the classic female mindset of I deserve it all, no compromise, and you man will get nothing, not a damn thing in return. The one that is the mindset of pretty much all of today's women. And they continue to have it even as the pool of willing men gets smaller by the day. That's not empowerment. That's denial covered in lipstick. Let's talk numbers. Already in the U.S., roughly 60% of women under 30 identify as single, compared to only about 30% of men. Why? Because men are done. They're not dating down anymore. They're dating out. Out of the system, out of the chaos, sometimes even out of the country. They aren't lonely. They're liberated. Liberated from the game, liberated from the chaos, liberated from the risk. And now that that's happened, women didn't just lose partners, they lost leverage. All the leverage. That's why you're seeing a surge in Where Have All the Good Men Gone podcasts. That's why TikTok is full of women realizing maybe men aren't the problem. And that's why you're now seeing Billboards. Because when the good men stopped applying, the recruiters got louder. Here's the takeaway, men, for you. Don't mistake panic for progress. Don't confuse visibility for value. And for damn sure, don't let desperation disguise itself as destiny. You hold the power now. Not because you're special, but because you finally learned to say no to a system built to use you. And to say no to women like Lisa, who don't value you, don't see you as worthy, don't even see you as a human being. If a woman genuinely values you and values men in general, she won't need a billboard. She'll meet you halfway. She won't have a list of demands longer than a CVS receipt. And she'll bring peace, not pressure, to your life. She'll build, not broadcast. So yeah, again, major props to Lisa for her creativity. But the billboard isn't the story. The story is that for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, men have options. And women are starting to realize it. Because the more men walk away, the louder the panic is getting. And that panic is only going to grow. So men, stay grounded, stay clear, and keep your standards exactly where they belong, high. Because you're not the problem. You're the prize that stopped auditioning. All right, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're tired of sugar-coated crap and want real talk for men, hit that subscribe and stay locked in.